3 cards were in the bottom of the box as I was getting my tarot cards out. They were just loose. I know which deck they belong to. I don't know why they're not in there, but they are for you. Okay, we have kicking off with trauma. I know, joined by its best friend, challenges. There's something you've been avoiding, and it looks like we're in eclipse season. Everything comes out. We've got a lunar eclipse in Virgo, I think, on the 3rd of March. I'm also doing this reading during a storm. And I think that is exactly right for where you're at. It's like a perfect storm. And us water signs, I'm a Pisces, you're a Cancer, we've got that in common, that whole kind of, it'll pass when it passes. We don't want to ruffle any feathers. You know, this storm won't pass unless you kind of grab it by the short and curlies. I do like that the 3rd card that was in the box, and God, you know, I did wonder when I turned over the other 2, I was like, what's the 3rd one going to be? It's nice. Spring. I know it's like as if that will ever happen at the moment because it just feels like it's going to rain forever. But it's about you unfolding. I've been waiting for this reading for you. It's felt like it's been on its way for a long time. You may feel uncharacteristically extreme. So in other words, you may feel like you don't even want to get out of bed. You can't be asked to speak to anybody, you know, that real one end of it, or you may be literally bouncing around at the other end of it. Remember, we've got Mercury retrograde throughout a lot of March. I know, retrograde in Pisces for at least most of it. I don't even know I have no words for that, but you're going to be bouncing around from one extreme to another. And that's okay, because the friction of you bouncing around, think of yourselves as like a pinball in March. The friction of you bouncing around is going to make change, and change is what is needed. And also, let's just address the elephant, or, you know, let's address the crab in the room. Cancerians don't particularly like change. I said what I said, but I stand by it. Now, it doesn't mean that you are opposed to change. It doesn't mean that you're going to be really stubborn and that you can never change. It's just that Cancerians are designed to create safety for other people and for yourself. You know, this feeling of, you know, I put my claws around you. This is my home. This is my homestead. These are my people. This is my tribe. I care for you all. I keep you all safe. And to keep you all safe, I keep myself safe. I keep the situation safe. Drop a crab in the comments if that is landing with you, because I weirdly have an itchy ear and I can feel that it is. You get the Knight of Cups, which is about ushering in an era of love. And this can take many forms. It can be like a bubble of love, as in you love where you live. You start to love your life, or you start to want to love your life, or you start to realize that you don't love your life in its particular form at the moment, but you could. This may play out in close relationships, lovers, you know, that kind of thing as well, in that you start to know what you want. And conversely, you start to know what you don't want. Cancerians are great facilitators, and this can be amazing when it's put to good use. Friends, family, caring professions, mothering, fathering, looking after pets, you know, even looking after plants, gardens, looking after things is a Cancerian trait. But there is something here about, and this is a word that I don't really like, but I'm going to use it anyway because it's come into my head. Cherishing yourself, regardless of your situation. The universe wants self-compassion. It's kind of pushing you towards it. Trauma and challenges. Let's have a quick breeze on those, okay? The other card I get for you is this, is it the 3? No, the 2 of Wands, the decision-making card. Remember, with the 2 of Wands, this is not a decision you would make in your head. This is a decision, I don't even know if it's a decision you would make in your heart. It's like a decision you make through fire and through living. It's a lived decision. So think of the 2 of Wands as I am voting with my feet, you know? That's why you always get somebody, they're always on the edge of something, they're always looking out over the horizon, they've always got like the wand. And it's like, ahoy, I am looking to the horizon. And also, I think what I want to say here in terms of the trauma card is that for some of you, and I'll take a card for this too, I feel like growing up, you were taught not to look too far, not to hope too much in case you should be disappointed. And sometimes that is from, you know, very often it's a caring mechanism from worried parents, you know, and it's very difficult. To be a parent is to worry. I mean, that's what it is. And they don't want you to be disappointed like they were, and they don't want you. And I'm getting for some of you a much deeper message about a pattern that one of your parents experienced when they were younger, that they tried not to repeat with you, and that they were very keen that you would not go through the same things that they did. And the very weird thing about this, and I find this really interesting, when we say we are not going to pass things on to our children, and we're not going to, you know, they're not going to go through what I went through, I'm not going to be like that with my children. The default is that sometimes we still do. Yeah. And sometimes the harder we try not to, the more it happens. And I feel like there is some kind of wound between you and maybe a particular parent, or just a time with that parent. Oh, yes. Okay. I'm just taking 3 cards for you here, because this is like, I want to go into this. And you are sort of leaving this behind, because the other card you got was the 8 of Cups. This is a power walk. You know, the 8 of Cups is an exit card, and very often it's, it can be the end of a relationship. It can be the end of the road, you know. But actually there's a lot of road in front of you here. And I feel like this is you distancing yourself from a certain pattern, from a certain trauma. Now, the cards that I get for you are very, very interesting here. Oh my God. We get the map with no names. Okay, and think of that in terms of this. The map with no names. What part of your life feels uncertain, and how can you navigate it without needing all the answers? Now, for Cancerians, security is paramount, and answers are security. And you're not going to get them in the way that you want them. It's not going to work like that. You're going to be the answer. Channeled message. Ding, 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 ding. You are the answer. I'm going to write it down. Going to write it down. That's good. You become the answer. Yes. You also get the glass slipper, and this is about where you feel that you don't fit in. What would happen if you embraced your uniqueness? It's actually a really nice shoe as well. I do like that. I do love a peep toe. Do love a peep toe. And also interesting that you get a shoe, because I always joke with you Cancerians, and let me know in the comments as well. It's Say hello. You find it very hard to throw away your favourite old shoes. I know you do. Now, I'm interested in that. The dragon's lair. Woohoo! That's big. And there's fire. What fear do you need to face head on, and what treasure lies beyond it? Now we hit pay dirt. Now we hit pay dirt. And this is not, it's giving me an itchy nose. This is not quick, you know. We're talking between, let's say, now and April. Well, we are, because I'm making this for you in February. It's for March, and then it's April. I know, I'll just state the bleeding obvious, shall I? Okay. Tell us a bit more, please, about the dragon's lair, about the trauma, about the challenges. Oof, hello. Okay. Oh, I like that. And I like that. And I like that. Oof. Okay, there's some love stuff as well. So we're going to look at love and relationships as well. There will be an extended love reading, okay, as there is every month. So if the love part is chicka chicka for you, it will be the first link in the description box for the extended reading, where we go deeper into the deets. Okay. First off, we've got the Page of Wands, and I feel like this represents you when you're a child. When you're kind of, I don't know, slightly wild, as children are, when you've still got that energy of anything's possible, and when you get angry about injustice, as a lot of Cancerian children do, when you know something isn't fair, when you know you can read the room. Cancerian children can read the room of the adults. And I'm getting a perspective of you, you know, knee-high to a grasshopper, and of bigger adults in the room. I don't know if this is school or your parents having a party, or I don't know if it's just like a channel they're showing me. It's the difference between you and the adults at the time. And they're towering over you. They're bigger than you. They have the say, and they have your power in their hands. But you also, and let me know in the comments, and by the way, if this is really resonating, please do hype the video. It makes a huge difference, and it's a way that you can give back to the channel. You go to the like button, you get your rainbow thumb going, and then if you scooch left, 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 like you're on Tinder, you will get a hype, and you can hype the video. Much appreciated. This is you with all your kind of fire and your brimstone, your originality, all your courage, all your potential, everything that you were going to be. I'm getting like 10 years old for this. And some of this is still there. And it wants to come out, and it's been like dormant for so long. And there may have been a trauma around the time you were 10. Maybe you moved, maybe you changed schools, maybe there was something else. It feels like you had to hide, you had to process, and you couldn't. There were challenges, and you couldn't necessarily make sense of them because you were young and you're not really supposed to be able to, or you weren't allowed to. There's some kind of, it feels like soft repression. It feels like it could be safety around you. Your parents trying to keep you safe. And this is the contradiction of being a parent. You know, the more you try and keep your children safe, sometimes the more you don't. I mean, it's just so annoying, and it's not anybody's fault. I think that's really important. But with this Eight of Cups card, it's very important in the way your relationships play out that you're not always playing it safe. And in terms of your career, in terms of your destiny, in terms of how you spend your life, you know, the big ticket items, what you do with yourself, your life path even, it feels like there is a sort of ribbon here and you're not necessarily meant to follow the one you thought that you were, or the one that you've been told that you were all this time. And Cancerians are generally quite good children. Like, you do what you're told. I think all water signs are. You like, people pleasing comes easily, and because you can feel it. You can feel the emotional temperature, and you want it to be nice. And you want other people to feel good. That's that empathy thing. That's why Cancerians make very good parents, very good pet parents, very good humans looking after the world. You know, I keep getting your what is it? What are the arms on a crab? I don't, whatever. I'm like, whatever these are, you know, you want to keep it in. You want to keep everybody safe. Keeping yourself safe has lost you some opportunities. And with this eclipse energy that we have, and with most of 2026, actually, I think, it's time for you to face challenges head on. And also, I think fortune favouring the brave here. There's a lot of tenacity in Cancerians. There's a lot of strength. You ever seen a crab when it doesn't want to let go of something? But there's also a lot of strength to hold on. And sometimes that's not the strongest move. So for a lot of you, you're letting go. And you're reclaiming who you were going to be, who you felt like, who you were when you were 10 years old, what you were interested in then. And also some of the sort of secrets and the magic that Cancerian children get but don't talk about. So this could be for some of you that this is like, it's making you want to study esoteric things like tarot, like magic, like Reiki, like philosophy, like about a million other mysteries that are out there. You want to get in there. And this, you know, you may want to turn this into a business. You certainly can. Or you may just want to study it. I seem to have one of my cat's hairs on my lips. This is the thing of lip gloss and cats. I know. Doesn't pay to think too much about it. Then we have this. We've got the King of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles. Some of you may be waiting on a relationship of some kind. The Queen of Pentacles waits. Now, I think she waits quite gracefully. You know, she's not sweating over her phone, like double texting and all that. She's she's demure and she's put together and she's still powerful. The King of Cups is a very interesting king. The King of Cups can be romantic, but also can be very much connected to you in the 5D or connected to you in just esoteric and weird ways. King of Cups, you get all the other kings, right, who are just showing up on thrones. King of Pentacles, he's got his big pentacle. He's like, hey, look at my pentacle. King of Wands is like, look at my wand. Chicka chicka. And then the King of Swords, he's a bit scary and you get quite a lot, is a bit, work me out. Look at my intellect. King of Cups is just like, look at my feet. They're in the water. My throne is in the sea. I walk on water. I float where other people can't. It's just like weird. And also I've got a big cup. And sometimes that can mean they've got a lot of love language. And this can go one of two ways. Like King of Cups is fascinating, especially to water signs, okay? So this is someone, and also you've got the Ace of Cups. Let's not hide that bad boy in the shadows, okay? Woohoo! You've got the Ace of Cups, which is an opportunity for love, an opportunity to fill your cup with self-love, with love from another, with love from this King of Cups. For some of you, patience is, it's a double-edged sword. You don't want the ambience of waiting, and you certainly don't want to downgrade. You don't want to get sick of waiting and downgrade your expectations, because one thing you can't, well, you can afford it, but I don't want it for you, is any trauma in your close personal relationships. So there's family, and you know, we can't change them out. We can choose what we do with them, but we can't really swap them out. Then there's your people, your best friends, your tribe, and then there's lovers, romantic relationships, partners, spouses, boyfriends, girlfriends, whatever. You are looking for clarity. You are looking to distance yourself from the trauma of unknowing. Big one. Big one. Writing it down with my giraffe pen. That is big. The trauma of unknowing. This is something that you've grown up with as well. And also not knowing yourself enough. I feel like you're going to get like a second chance. I feel like your 10-year-old waited for you. So fascinating. And I feel like you won't feel like yourself, but it will feel good. There's a lot of love. There's a lot of love from your 10-year-old self for you, but also there's a lot of love around you. There's a lot of opportunity. This King of Cups for some of you is a very specific person. Oh, yes. Let's take one more. Oh, come on. This is good. We get the Fool. Big time, major arcana. This is new for you. It's all going to be new for you. I've said that February, end of February, with the eclipses, is the beginning of the new year for us. January, Schmanuary. Then we also have the Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands is the power queen. You can be both. You can be both patient and powerful. None of this involves waiting for something to make sense. That's important. None of this involves sitting around waiting for breadcrumbs, following a trail into a forest. No, not that. But it does involve not feeling desperate and owning your neediness. Cancerians are needy, and it's a thing to celebrate. Neediness is vulnerability, and it's very real. It's very attractive as well. And don't let anybody tell you otherwise. 10 of Pentacles, the circle of love. Now, this can be however it is in the modern setting, okay? It doesn't have to be this particular nuclear family that we have here. But it's whatever this end game represents for you. And you're not going to sell yourself short anymore. You're not going to make up the difference. You're not going to be the different. You're not going to be the human bridge either. I'm getting that human bridge scenario for you. It feels like the trauma from the past has lit a fire under you. Your inner 10-year-old has come to collect you. God, it's giving me goosebumps. It really is. And you're ready to take them by the hand. And you're ready to go on this adventure and take the leap. And some of it's going to be difficult. And some of it's going to be challenging. But all of it's going to be worth it. Okay, I'm going to do the extended love reading. I'm going to do the you and me side by side love reading, where I look at you and I look at other specific person, which can be your ex, it can be a future person, it can be partner, whatever, situationship, wherever you are with this. I'm going to do card for you, card for them with different decks, but I'm also going to riff off those cards and look at trauma and challenges and any shadow work that needs to be done, how this is going to play out in your specific situation, okay? And what's the best course of action? And is there anything under the layers that we need to know, okay? The link for that is below the video. I'm going to go and I'm going to dust myself off. It's going to be a big one. I will see you lovely Cancerians on the other side. Namaste.